Well, a gang member convicted of killing 15-year-old Lissandro Jr. Guzman Feliz in 2018 has died at a New York correctional facility just 1 month after he was resentenced for the killing. News 12's Tim Hartman sat down with Jr.'s mother, who is speaking out after hearing the news.
The Department of Corrections and Community Supervision says Jonaki Martinez Estrella was found unresponsive Friday inside of his cell at the Coxsackie Correctional Facility. The 31-year-old was one of the gang members convicted of killing 15-year-old Lissandro Guzman Feliz, known to most as Junior, with a large knife and dragging him out of a bodega in 2018. Martinez Estrella was convicted of second-degree murder, second-degree conspiracy, and second-degree gang assault. He was just resentenced last month to 25 years to life with the possibility of parole. Junior's mother says although she will never get her son back, hearing that Martinez Estrella is dead brings her peace.
The gang doesn't have no more choices, only running two ways, jail or cemetery. He was fighting for his freedom, and now he's going to have freedom in the hell with the evil.
So far, officials have not released Martinez Estrella's cause of death. In Belmont, Tim Hartman, News 12 The Bronx.
All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rachah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. It's your brother Rabbi Knapp coming out with a lesson, Lord's will, satisfying to the Lord's elect. Now, what we just saw was a gang called Trinitarios in New York. Let's look that up. That was the gang leader. You know, he killed a little, I forgot. It was a mistaken, it was one of those cases that was mistaken identity. But when you look into it, they were chopping him up with, dude's 15 years old, he runs into a bodega, try to save his life, and they come out, they stab him, they're hitting him with machetes, man. Horrible. You know, and then he died, you know. But the reason why I'm doing this is because the reason why I'm putting this video is to show you that there be spirits that be created for vengeance. I'm gonna start with that. You know, some people were created to do these heinous acts and then get put to death. You know, that's how you get judged. You know, and you might think, oh, well, you know, he was such a young man, and you know, to the eyes of those who don't understand what's going on, that can be, you know, it can be seen as wrong, but in the eyes of the Lord, it's righteous. No one can die without the Lord's permission. Okay, let me just grab that in Psalm 68 real quick. Okay, because we don't know what we've done in our past life. This is why we should be in that repentant state, because we all deserve what happened to Junior, man. Transgressing the Lord, man. But he's shown us mercy. So this is the time to not, you know, to be in a repentant state. This is the book of Psalm 68 and 20. He that is our God is the God of salvation. And unto God, the Lord, belong the issues from death. So if he didn't want this to happen, it wouldn't have happened. But the Lord wanted this to happen. Okay. It's the book of Sirach 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, meaning that spirit that was in that gang leader, Trinitarios, was created from to bring forth the Lord's, to appease the Lord for the sins that Junior may Junior have committed in his whether in this life or his past life. You know, it might come in the form of mistaken identity in this life, but in the past life, who knows what happened. This is why, you know, going back to being in a repentant state, because we, like I said, we're all worthy of death. Okay. And this can happen to anybody. All right. Which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Okay. So when you're mad, your sore strokes. Let's look into this word, sore strokes. These words, I should say. See what comes up. In their fury lay on sore strokes. Let's highlight this whole thing, because this is what the internet's for, man. Let's search Google, see what that means. It's in the book of Sirach. It says, the verse reads, Okay, we know that. This verse describes spirits or forces of nature that are created for punishment and destruction, unleashing their fury in times of devastation. Let's read a little bit more. Nothing. That's all I got. Okay. And those sore strokes are the judgments, the punishments, however, in whatever form they come in. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Okay. And these spirits, who creates these spirits? Let's find that out. Who's the father of spirits? Father of spirits, Hebrews 12:9. Let's go grab that. So that's what the Lord created to appease him. Hebrews 12, verse 9. It says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? So that's telling you, hey, you got a father. He brought you into the world. Yeah, you're supposed to obey your mother and your father, but how much more the heavenly Father, okay, who gave you your spirit, So these are things that we have to, this is why wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the times, because if you understand that the Lord is in control of all these things, then you'll fear him, okay? That's the beginning of knowledge, I should say, Proverbs 1:7. That fear that, oh, I better not do this, man. My father's going to be angry with me. Same way you bring a bad report card to your house, when you have, parents that, they'll kick your ass. They find out you ain't been doing none of your homework. You ain't been studying. You've been skipping class. You're going to get punished for that. Just the same with the Lord. Now the Lord is getting a report from the angels. They're the ones telling him what's going on down here. So if your report card comes back is bad, you're going to just expect yourself to be judged. Okay. Also in Trinitarios, that's what I wanted to get. Los Trinitarios. That's in Spanish. Okay. Trinitarios. The Trinitarios were established in 1993 on Rikers Island, the New York City jail, by two Dominicans facing separate murder charges. Leonidas Junito Sierra and Julio Cabello Marin. The Trinitarios on the East Coast was built in Rikers Island prison to protect mainly Dominicans and other Hispanic nationalities from African American gangs or other American gangs. This Dominican gang is considered to be the first Latino gang that originated in New York City and then later spread out to the whole northeastern region of the United States. The group was named for three revolutionaries of the Dominican War of Independence. Its slogan is Dios, Patria y Libertad, the official motto of the Dominican Republic, God, Homeland, and Liberty. Their colors are lime green, as well as red, blue, and white, the colors of the Dominican Republic flag. So, first of all, so these gangs, but there's no such thing as Dominicans. Dominicans mean saint. You let's look it up. Let's look it up, man. And this is why y'all gonna be going to Alcatraz, man. I was just talking about that. What does Dominican mean? It says Dominican, a member of the Roman Catholic Order of Preaching Friars, founded by Saint Dominic, or of a religious order for women founded on similar principles, relating to Saint Dominic or the Dominicans. Okay. The name Dominican Republic is derived from the Latin name from the island of Hispaniola Dominicus. The island was named by Christopher Columbus, who claimed it for Spain. The word Dominican comes from the Latin word dominus, meaning lord or master. The Dominican Republic has a rich history and culture. So that doesn't, you don't descend from Christopher Columbus, man. That's number one. Dominican dog of I think it's Saint Dominic. The Dominican order is often associated with a dog carrying a flaming torch, which stems from a legend about Saint Dominic's mother. Before his birth, she dreamt of a dog leaping from her womb with a torch setting the world ablaze. This imagery is linked to the Latin phrase Dominicanis, meaning dogs of the Lord, which is a play on the word Dominican and highlights the order's role as preachers of the gospel. So, dogs of the Lord, man. Okay. Going back to St. Dominic, going back to the Catholic Church, going back to Esau, Edom. You don't descend from them. You're an Israelite from the tribe of Simeon. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because it just made me think of Genesis, the 49th chapter. I'm going to grab it. Genesis 49:5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. It's talking about you Dominicans and you Haitians. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. Now, this is talking about, you know, the fact that your tools of witchcraft and voodoo, you know, you guys are very heavy into that. And that's why y'all share the same island. Okay. But this is the spirit of you Dominicans and Haitians, man. Let's look up Simeon. Simeon, Genesis 29:33, and she conceived again and bare a son and said, because the Lord have heard that I was hated, he have therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. Let's look at this word, Simeon. Because our names have meaning. And if you think you're a dog of the Lord from St. Dominic, man, then that comes with a whole belief system, a whole mind fuck, and it'll have you kill your brother in the most brutal way. Okay, Simeon or Shimeon means heard, the second son of Jacob by his wife Leah, and progenitor of the tribe of Simeon, an Israelite of the sons of Bani, who had a foreign wife in the time. It's the first section. Okay, and that's what it means, man. Root word: to hear, listen, to obey. Okay, to cause to be heard, and that's Shama, to hear intelligently, publish, regard, report, show, make a sound, understand, whosoever heareth witness. Yeah, Shimeon heard, just like Leah said. Sometimes it be going off. I don't know if that's exactly what it means, but it's somewhere along the lines of that. And she conceived again and bare a son, talking about Leah. Okay. And said, because the Lord have heard that I was hated, he have therefore given me his son. And also, she called his name Simeon. Okay. And then it says Simeon and Levi. And she conceived again and bare a son and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. And the first son was Reuben. But I'm just focused on Simeon and Levi. Let's see. Let's go on to Levi. I know it means join unto me. I just want curious. Join to. Okay. And that's talking about you Haitians. The third son of Jacob by Leah, and progenitor of tribe of Levites. So these are your forefathers, respectively. All right. So your instruments of cruelty are in your habitations. Okay. And that's talking about voodoo. because that's the type of things y'all are into, man. Wickedness. Okay. You go to the book of Genesis, 34th chapter, in verse 25. It says, Genesis 34 and 25, and it came to pass on the third day when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, and Dinah is Jacob's daughter. If you didn't know, he had a daughter, took each man his sword and came upon the city boldly and slew all the males. And that's the same thing, man. You know, your instruments going into your sword, but you also use that witchcraft, okay? And especially that damn machete, okay? Genesis 34 and 26, and they slew Hamor and Shechem, his son, with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went out, because he took, Shechem took, raped Dinah, and their brothers weren't having that. Okay, so they went back and they did him dirty. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city because they had defiled their sister. They took their sheep and their oxen and their asses and that which was in the city and that which was in the field, and all their wealth and all their little ones and their wives took they captive, and spoiled even all that was in the house. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, ye have troubled me to take me to stink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house. And they said, should he deal with our sister as with a harlot? So they revenged Dinah. And Jacob wasn't having that, because he was they was giving them a bad name in the area. you know it but that the way they went about it, man, you can just imagine what they did. If they're doing this to their own brother years down the road, imagine what they were doing in the ancient time to those who did something to Dinah, their only sister. And y'all were the only two that actually rolled out like that. Reuben wasn't part of this, and that was the firstborn. So he defiled her, man, and they went and they got busy. Okay. Just like and that's Simeon and Levi. But then there's a case in Judges the 19th chapter with Levi. Okay, Genesis 19, and I'll start at 26. Then came the woman in the dawning of the day and fell down at the door of the man's house where her Lord was, till it was light. And her Lord rose up in the morning and opened the doors of the house and went out to go his way. And behold, the woman, his concubine, was fallen down at the door of the house, and her hands were upon the threshold. And he said unto her, up, and let us be going. But none answered. Then the man took her up upon an ass, and the man rose up and got him unto his place. So this man is a Levite, and this concubine, just like in Sodom and Gomorrah with Lot and the angels, they took his woman, okay, and they pretty much raped her all through the night. Okay, when you read up, I'm just trying to get to the point. Okay, Judges 19 and 29, and then so she got raped all night, and then she went back to her Lord's house. She's at the door. He tells her to get up. She doesn't answer, so he throws her on top of his donkey and started going to his place, it says. And Judges 19 and 29, and when he was come into his house, he took a knife and laid hold on his concubine and divided her together with her bones into 12 pieces and sent her into all the coast of Israel. And it was so that all that saw it said, there was no such deed done nor seen from the day that the children of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt unto this day. Consider of it take advice, and speak your minds. Yeah, so what are we going to do about this, man? So he chopped up his concubine for what they did and sent it to all through Israel. Okay? And that was a Levite that did that. Now, Levi is known to be priests. They were known to do the evening and the morning sacrifice, man. So you had to chop up a bull and you had to do all these things. Okay, so they that's just it. They can get cruel, man, because just through the spirit, man, the priests are really nothing to deal with, man. You know, you go into Samuel when he chopped up Agag. Okay. 1 Samuel 15 in verse 32, then says Samuel, bring ye hither to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites. And Agag came unto him delicately. And Agag said, surely the bitterness of death is past. Yeah, he thought he was going to be all right. And Samuel said, as thy sword hath made woman childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before the Lord in Gilgal. So Samuel is another Levi, I believe. Let me just double check. Because he was with Eli. Let's see, his father. 1 Samuel 1:1. Now there was a certain man, Ramah Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Roham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zoph, an Ephratite. And he had two wives. The name of was Hannah, and the name of other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. Okay, but so it's saying, was he from Ephraim? I thought he was a Levi. Because it says Ephratite and Ephratite. So hold on, let me just double check, because I think because you are what your father is. I just want to make sure. Let me just Google it. Samuel, a Levi. I believe he is, but I can't prove it with the scriptures. Yes, the prophet Samuel was a Levite. While 1 Samuel 1:1 mentions his father Elkanah as being from Ephraim, later texts, particularly 1 Chronicles, the 6th chapter, trace Samuel's lineage back to the tribe of Levi, especially the Kohathite branch. Although he lived in Ephraim, Elkanah was a Levite, and therefore so was Samuel. Let's look at that precept that it's given me. 1 Chronicles, the 6th chapter. Let's just jump over there. You know, for edification's sake. Because you could read that and just think he's from Ephraim. So let's go into the precept. I'm not going to read it all. I just want to get to the sons of Levi, Gershom, Kohath, and Merari. In 1 Chronicles 6:18, and the sons of Kohath were Amram, Azar, Hebron, and Israel. Okay. Okay, the son of Elkanah. Where does it say it? Hold on, let me control F this. Samuel. And the sons of Samuel, the firstborn. Oh, I'm Salakia. So 1 Samuel 6, it says the son of Kohath, which is supposed to be the father of Elkanah. Abinadab, Korah his son, and Asher his son, Elkanah his son, and Kohath is the son of Levi, according to 1 Samuel 6 and 1. Kohath is the son of Levi, and then Elkanah is the son of Kohath, which makes connects Samuel to Levi. Okay. So there you go. So, hey, the instruments of cruelty in their habitation. Okay. What else is going on? As a matter of fact, I don't want to make this too long. As a matter of fact, I might even just leave it.
Disagreed with the count of torture, overturned the defendant's first-degree murder conviction, and Martinez Australia was resentenced in late May of this year to second
Fucking demons, man. I'm telling you. Spirits created for vengeance.
degree murder and the new, more limited sentence. New Yorkers found the details of the crime horrifying. 4 cars filled with members of the Trinitarios gang chased the...
And that's the same thing that happened in Judges, the 19th chapter. That's why he chopped up his... this is Levi I'm talking about. That reaction, the shit that's how you know the way it affected everybody, man. It's just like, that's what they known to do, man. Some crazy... This is how we know that the Jacob's Trouble is going to be insane, man. It's going to be insane. And there's different types of gangs. They don't all have to... It's not really the gang, it's the people, man. But the Lord got his ass, man. The Lord got his ass. So don't think that he don't have a way of coming around and getting you back for the things you committed. And Jacob's Trouble is going to be the same way, man. Same thing. These gangs are going to be running wild.
young teen.
It was actually a case. I think it was 2 Dominicans. Dudes were having a machete fight. Dude chopped off his hand. The other dude, he almost cut half of his skull wide open, man. It was bad, man. It was bad.
In the streets of the Bronx after they mistakenly thought he belonged to its rival Sunset's gang. The terrified boy took refuge in a bodega, but gang...
And that's his brother, man. They're fighting against their own brother. Going through the curses, your eye shall be evil towards your brother. In Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Because Jake's not really in his right mind, man. This is why it's important to get this word out. But not everyone's going to come out of it. But some are. Okay. Some are. Yep, Deuteronomy 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. And that's another thing. The fact that father figure, man, you can be a lot of people who join these gangs aren't there's a huge I don't want to say correlation. Yeah, huge correlation between gang members and single family households. Okay, and that's what creates these gangs, man. Okay, and a lot of them they're not running off of logic, man. It's actually effeminate spirit, because it's your mother that's having you react off emotion. And sometimes it gets to the point where you making the wrong decision, and then look up, and all of y'all to take down a 15-year-old, this is a crazy ass crime, but it's the curses. It's the curses, man, showing you that y'all are the Israelites.
Members dragged him out to the sidewalk on Bathgate Avenue. According to the New York Post's coverage of the crime, despite the teen's claims that he wasn't a gang member, the mob beat him in the store, then dragged him into the street and hacked him to death with knives and machetes, leaving his lifeless body behind. Following the arrest, New Yorkers were outraged when the Post featured a photo of the smug killer smiling and flashing gang signs in court. At least 13 other members of the gang have been sentenced, many receiving 25 years to life, with some taking plea deals for the lesser charge of manslaughter. Martinez Estrella would have had a chance at parole after the 25-year sentence. As of the date of this video, we do not know the
Lord went and got his ass, man. You know, sometimes there's a judge that just shows you that the Lord, there's a power greater than the judge, man. Here it is, you got your sentence, you were in the jail, the Lord still got you in there. Okay, judgment's going out. And you probably created just to do that, because the Lord, what the Lord is doing, man, he gonna get 2/3 of y'all gonna get put to death, man. A lot of people, it's gonna be more and more. This happened years ago, but more shit's gonna happen, man. More machete. People got machetes all the time, and that's their choice of weapon. Levi too. Okay, they just known for the machetes, man. This is what we're talking about when we see things like this, because that's the type of spirits that are out here. You know, mad different, and that's just, I mean, you know, machetes are just a common thing within, you know, Caribbean islands. People in Caribbean islands, that's just their choice of weapon. But imagine that, man. That's not a good way to go, man. It's probably want to get shot before you get chopped up in pieces, man. You know, but that's the type of shit that's gonna happen. That's these spirits that the Lord got out here. This is why we should use this as an example to remember to fear the Lord, because the times that are coming, Jacob's trouble, is gonna be all hell breaking loose out here.
cause of death for Martinez Estrella. And Coxsackie Correctional Facility currently had 11 deaths of incarcerated individuals for 2025.
Damn. Correctional facility by manner of death, 11 in 2025, man. That's some crazy. You don't want to go to Coxsackie, man. 1 suicide, 4 unknown, 6 natural causes. Yo, shit is going down in there. And they didn't even mark this as a homicide or accident. They're not even telling you what manner of death this is. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
According to the doc's June 1st fact sheet, 6 of those deaths were listed as natural causes. 1 was classified as a suicide, and 4 out of the 11 deaths were classified as unknown. Whether or not Martinez Estrella's death was by sinister means, the internet is buzzing, and the comments about his death are plentiful.
Well, a gang member convicted of killing 15-year-old Losandro Jr. Guzman Feliz in 2018 has died at a New York correctional facility just 1 month after he was resentenced for the killing. News 12's Tim Harfman sat down with Junior's mother, who is speaking out after hearing the news.
Now, we already saw this. This is the first video I played. I just wanted to end it right there. Because I mean, there really ain't nothing much else to say, man. But this is the type of spirits that are out here. Matter of fact, let me grab this in 2 Chronicles 15, and because this is the time we coming into 2 Chronicles 15:1. And the Spirit of God came upon Azariah, the son of Oded, And he went out to meet Asa and said unto him, Hear ye me, Asa, and all Judah and Benjamin, the Lord is with you, while ye be with him. And if ye seek him, he will be found of you. But if ye forsake him, he will forsake you. So we should take that same advice. Okay, from the prophets, they're warning Asa, listen, man, you seek the Lord, he's gonna be with you. If you don't, he's gonna forsake you. So this is the same type of times that we're in right now. Now, for a long season, Israel had been without the true God and without a teaching priest and without law. And that's some of these people are still without law, still with they haven't heard the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, they haven't been activated. But a lot of them, the Lord is not going to activate, meaning to wake them up to who they truly are. 2 Chronicles 15:4, but when they in their trouble did turn unto the Lord God of Israel and sought him, he was found of them. And that time of trouble is coming back again, Jacob's trouble. Okay, and you're going to need the Lord, man. But if you don't know about him, then how are you going to call upon him? 2 Chronicles 15:5, and in those times there was no peace to him that went out, nor to him that came in, but great vexations were upon all the inhabitants of the countries. And that great vexations are these different adversity that this nation is going to come in the form of Jacob's trouble. It's going to get tough out here, man. There's going to be no peace wherever you go. It's going to be hard to get food. It's going to be hard to maneuver around, man. 2 Chronicles 15:6, and nation was destroyed of nation, and city of city, for God did vex them with all adversity. Okay, adversity, famines, pestilences, different groups, gangs, things going on. How are you going to navigate through that? You're going to need the Lord. Martial law troops. It's going to get crazy out here, man. 2 Chronicles 15:7, be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. Okay, so we hope the same thing, that our work, our faith in our works will hopefully, in the eyes of the Lord, will be, what's the word I'm looking for? Will show that we truly are repented, that we truly do, you got to be predestinated, but we're putting our best effort forward now while we have this liberty to get to seek the Lord and know the Lord and show our faith by our works. But I'm in there right there. Lord's will, that was edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak,